I think maybe we live. Hey, Dan,
Yeah.
we live.
Hello.
Dan, we're
Hello, everybody.
live right here at
Comicstorian.
Tuesday afternoon.
Oh,
We're live from Tuesday afternoon in the middle of Colorado.
yeah.
Welcome, everyone. If this is your first time here, this is the weekly podcast that I produce with a co-host named Sal, who will be here shortly. The two of us sit down, chat about comic book news and everything going on in the world of comic books for about an hour. Normally, it goes live over at twitch.tv/Comicstorian. Occasionally, we bring you guys an unlisted video over here on the YouTube side, which will be live for you to enjoy now. Give you the links to go subscribe to things, and then it'll go down. That's what we do over here. And that's it. So right now we're just waiting for Sal to show up, and I'm going to adjust my lighting, Dan. By the way, for those who don't know, this is Dan, our producer. He arranges most of the things.
That is what I do. I am where the news comes from and why it's not always great, because right now it's Spider-Man. That is the
Spider-Man?
news. Right now it's like, hey, okay, the news. All right, so Spider-Man. Okay, cool, Spider-Man. All right, next one, Spider-Man. All right, let's keep on going through.
Avengers Raid came out today, Dan. Dan, did you cap your character at 150 to join me?
No.
Oh, okay. So it'd be just me.
I still am not even max level. I'm pretty sure my character is like level 20 something.
Well, I'll be streaming that over at facebook.com/Comicstorian Gaming either this afternoon or tomorrow. Nice. I woke up at 3 a.m., started work at 7 a.m., and I've been going since then. I am exhausted, actually. This might be the last thing like I get to do before I go to sleep.
This? Oh no, the raid stream.
No. I might not do that. This might be it. I might be wore out and go to sleep.
Damn. That's saying something, because you're a go all day kind of guy.
Hey.
Sal!
Hey, what's up, gang?
I'm on the last of my coffee, buddy.
Oh no. Why? It's so early in the day.
I've been up since 3 a.m.
Oh my god. No.
It's not early, it's just the Dan segment. Yeah, you can always tell we're not in the official show yet if Dan's still on.
I am the deciding factor with that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not technically Facebook streaming here, Rue. I'm actually making gameplay Let's Plays over there. Oh. But Facebook, if anybody come over, they're paying us a flat sum to come and do it. There's no discoverability. If you don't know how algorithms work on YouTube and Twitch, basically, if you type in Batman, discoverability is your video or something popping up. That's how that works. They have zero. There is zero discoverability on Facebook gaming. They're like, we want to compete with YouTube. So we're going to hire a bunch of people to make videos over here. And I was like, okay, cool. What's your discoverability? And they're like, we don't got it. So their
response was, what's that?
Right. That's insane.
Yeah, so the only discoverability that they have is if you do a stream, it goes into the stream algorithm. Now, I have done a lot of research on Facebook streaming because I was like, well, we kind of gave up on the Twitch thing. I do the occasional one on my YouTube channel, the old YouTube channel. I wouldn't mind. I could dual stream on the YouTube channel and go over there. I was like, I'll do the Avengers Raid on Comicstorian Gaming YouTube or here on Comicstorian, and I'll also do it on Facebook. Kind of direct people to Facebook, get them over there. So I started to look into it. If you go to the top streamers, and I know they've paid big names to go to Facebook Gaming, it's all half-naked women. This is what Dan was looking at the other day, and he was like, what are you linking? Because this makes no sense.
Oh, that's what you linked? And I was like, why are you guys linking this?
That was the top streamers of Facebook at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to watch
hot,
Facebook
sexy
streams
singles
more
are
often.
looking for you in their area.
So no, there's a story I'm telling this out. Watch this. Okay, so I'm going to hold this up. I'm going to pull this up an image that I had. Because it's safe for work. Don't worry.
Don't let it get flagged.
No, they're all dressed, so it is safe for work. You know what I mean? Like,
right. They technically have clothes.
So if I hit share screen, there we go. So this is what I found when I looked up top streamers on Facebook.
No, that is a fake want ad in a British magazine.
It is. Okay, but the story gets better. So now the assumption is, all the TNA streamers from Twitch went to Facebook, right?
Right, you'd assume that.
Now, there's a trend here you'll notice. So if you look at this image right here, okay, that you're like, I'm trying to get
right. We're all looking at those images. Yeah, big time.
Definitely.
So if you go down here where it makes it a little more safe for work,
yes.
Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto 5. Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto 5. Red Dead Redemption, PUBG Mobile, and Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption 2. Now, the next question you're going to have is, wait, that doesn't make the top streamers of Facebook are playing Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto
2? Like
Yeah.
games that are 10 years old? Why?
Right. Like this is the big streams over there, not Fortnite, not
No.
Call of Duty,
Right.
not. I was like, okay, what are they doing? So I click on it. What it is? Here's what they're doing.
Research. Yeah, you got to make sure.
This
For
is
research.
this is genius. It's a 12-hour stream. They put it on, they let it go 12 hours, they take it down, they do it again. And what they do is they put it on loop. And what it is a 10-minute loop of them running around punching people in either Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto. It
So
gets
it's-
better. They
okay.
then take a cam girl during her dressed portions, put that in the corner like she's playing.
Oh my god.
That's the 10-minute loop. They put it up for 12 hours. They have the most streamed time and are the top streamers on Facebook gaming.
So
That is a
I'm just
grift
going to
and a
go
half.
create a Facebook gaming stream. channel
Seriously,
real
hang on a
quick.
minute. I got streams. They're multiplying.
So I'm looking at this. I'm like, wait a minute. This has to be one person. No, it's the same exact style of video 20 times.
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
because I'm like, if I'm going to do Facebook gaming just to kind of bolster the numbers over here,
Yep.
what should I play? Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead. I mean, I play those, but I've never
Yeah.
thought of streaming them.
Well, you have
Mhm.
played them. It doesn't mean you're going to be playing them now. Like, why?
So I'm assuming it's a bunch of old guys watching these cam girls in the corner on loop, not aware they're not playing or even there.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's-
probably not even there. It's probably a screenshot of them. Like, it's not even live.
It's
It's a
probably
video because they're
kids.
moving around and stuff like
Right?
that.
Yeah. No, they just screenshotted.
But they're still dressed
somebody's-
too.
Tim
they're
Buck
not- it's
says
not even like,
kids that have parental blocks on their computers,
yeah.
and this is them getting past that.
Yeah, so our Twitch chat is saying Danielle is like, remember that Faust eating the chicken in the corner? That
Yep.
they did that. It's on loop.
Right.
That's funny.
All right, so how do we do this?
I
Let's
mean,
jump in. Let's do it. Let's.
I could just film myself punching people in Red Dead Redemption for 10 minutes, and we just clip it all
dude,
together.
we could just string together absolute comics, and just like
Start
here's
turbo
every
loop.
episode we've ever made in a 12-hour loop against some Fortnite game. And hey, you're the first Fortniter apparently, so you might as well. Oh my god, horrifying.
So yeah, I just found that hilarious. So
Yeah.
but in all honesty, I do streams over at Facebook Gaming.
Yep.
Not streams. I haven't really started those yet. That'll be what's coming next. But you can find me doing those. And the
Yeah.
Avengers raid will either be here. If you could go like that page, I'd really appreciate it. It has zero discoverability, and they're paying me to make content. And I want them to keep doing that. So I need people to like the page.
You gotta like it. You gotta show there's some engagement.
Yeah, I need people to go there. Ask any questions you want. I will answer them on my Facebook gaming page.
Seriously.
Oh god.
So tomorrow or this afternoon, depending how much energy I have after this, I'm planning on probably burning out at the end of this.
Oh
But
yeah.
the stream for the Avengers raid will be there or here or both if I can get it to work.
Yeah.
Comicstorian, I've always want to know your top 5 favorite comic stories you've ever read, on or off video. Batman No Man's Land, Batman 0 Year, Batman Nightfall. I'm a Batman fan. Superior Spider-Man, the whole run. You got to read it all for it to make sense and be good. If you just
Yep.
jump in, it's weird and awkward. And the Agent Venom run, the whole thing for that too.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I can't
Good
think of
collection.
5, but Avengers No Surrender. I was a big fan of that side Avengers.
That was
arc.
great. Yeah. What a great
We'll,
event.
we'll answer some Q&A stuff until we start the normal show. We'll be starting in about 10 minutes.
All right, cool.
We got a list of things. So,
We got time.
anyone excited for the Video Game Awards? No.
I didn't
they're
know they were
happening?
happening.
Here's a secret, and this is I've yet to come across. So a lot of people are like, oh, don't you like the Harvey Awards or the comic book awards or the movie awards or the video?
Yeah.
No, I've been to these award shows. I know
Yeah.
how they work. They're not true awards. They make a committee, and then
Yeah.
the way award shows work, guys. And this is you could look this up for movies. This is the biggest thing, but it also applies to video games. Is the directors and the actors then give gifts to the committee, and they spend time with the committee, and they promote their
Mhm.
products that way. And it's
Yeah.
a handshake deal to get awarded the stuff. That's
Yep.
the whole point.
It's just like the music ones are all the record label who pays more radio stations to play their songs, because
Yeah.
then those are the ones that go through.
Let me tell you something. We one time we were nominated for an award, and it was only because we worked. What was it? The nominations process was because it was voted on by comic book pros, and I knew enough people who technically worked in the comic book industry to be like to nominate us. So we got into the nominations. I go to the award ceremony. They tell us they list the people in the categories. Everyone gets applause until our name comes up. No one in the room applause. They all were just like, "Who is that?" It was the whole award ceremony was a circle jerk of friends, and like it was, you could just see how like everybody was just like, well, my friend is going to get the award this year, then then I'll get the award next year, and it's just like passed
How
around
a lot of them are
among friends. It's like, whoa, but you could hear a pin drop when they were like they were like, there was like visible anger from people being like, what we didn't authorize these nobodies to get in here, and that never happened. We'll never get it again. Have you ever noticed that there's no like best comic book podcast category in any of the comic book awards?
I know. It's us.
Despite the fact there's thousands of them.
Yeah,
No, it's us. We're the
kidding.
best. We're the best.
Oh, yeah. Well, naturally. Yeah. Well, we don't even need an award. Although we did win one from Bleeding Cool, and then they never had them again.
Yeah, well, we did win one. That's our award. We're the award-winning podcast because they never did again. The trick to being an award-winning podcast is to be the only guy that ever wins the award. No one can trump you.
Yeah. Then they delete the awards entirely. We should have one made.
We should do our own award ceremony. We could do an award ceremony.
Oh no!
Remember one year we were going to do the Comicstorian Awards for like content creators and comic books and things like that.
Yeah.
And my funders backed out because the excuse was, we want to do it, but if we fund it, we can't be nominated.
Well, that's fair.
That's true.
Okay. Well, then they should have used like a PAC or something. There should be like a shell company that these groups all pay into to sponsor the show. That's the way around it.
What was I going to say about the award show?
Money laundering. But yeah.
Oh, it's funny because a lot of people are always like, oh my God, it's nothing but old white guys that win the award show. And I'm like, because the old white guys are nominating their friends. How have you not figured that out? That's
I don't know if you know this, but like they invented the award.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. It's completely unfair.
Yeah.
But if you understand how award shows work, you'll know why this unfair thing is happening.
Right. And you'll stop watching them because you'll go, oh, I don't want to do that.
I stopped watching them too.
Yeah.
Ever heard of Meta Travelers? It's a new and upcoming comic story. The artist actually worked on Guardians of the Galaxy. Check out the YouTube, please. Well, I'm not going to do it live, Huncho, and no, I've never heard of it, but I don't mind checking out indie stuff otherwise.
Right.
5 more minutes till the actual podcast will start up. I'll keep pulling up some comments here.
Also, I saw one asking for a review on Arcane. Benny and I will be doing that.
Yes,
on Absolutely a Marvel DC. We just have to film
that Arcane thing. It's been blowing up in terms of people
so
wanting us to
good.
talk about it.
I'm at the end finally. The issue I had with Arcane was every time I'd catch up and Dan and I could talk about it, they would drop 3 more episodes.
Oh no!
And my schedule is packed. I'm really trying here.
And
I've
like
got Demon Slayer
45-minute episodes.
Yeah,
too.
it's huge episodes. I've got Demon Slayer and My Hero completely on the back burner. It's like Hawkeye and Arcane. That's all I'm watching right now.
That's it.
Flash gets thrown in the middle.
Sure.
Favorite Superman villains? You
Lex
can't beat
Luthor.
Lex. Lex is the classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zod too.
I would go with Zod over Lex personally.
I don't have any favorite Zod stories, so I couldn't care less. But
Story wise, I'm more talking like just the character as just a character.
yeah, Zod's fun. That the new Krypton saga was like the coolest use of Zod I've ever seen. Outside of that, I'm like, meh. But then it's like Doomsday, please.
Is Spider-Man Miles going to be in No Way Home? I highly doubt it.
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if a young boy named Miles Morales was name dropped or appeared in this movie.
That's apparently that God, there was like a retcon from Raimi that the boy that Spider-Man saves in Spider-Man 1 from a balloon, the kid's white, but they're retconning it and going to change it in the movie to that was Miles Morales and that was Peter Parker saving him. And I was like, that is the weirdest thing
It's
to
not-
go back and retcon for
there's
something
no
that's
way.
not going to really.
It is so not true and not going to happen. Like, first of all, that's weird. Secondly, that kid is so rock stupid. Like, I don't think I want to associate Miles with that kid. He stands there. He just looks at at Doom falling on his head, and he has like this look at his face, like, like he's suicidal, like he came to the parade to die, and it was really weird. And no, don't make that Miles. No, I'm sorry, but like, no, Miles is not in the Raimi trilogy. Miles wasn't invented until like 10 years after the Raimi trilogy.
Yeah. I almost put that on
Oh my
the absolute
God.
comics list because
Well,
I was
there you
like,
have
this
it.
is the most ridiculous thing I've ever read.
That's the Raimi fans, man. I mean, I love that. I love the first two movies as well, but like, wow, the dedication is just like, it's, if you guys love Raimi so much, you should have watched Ash versus Army of Darkness, because that show did not.
Oh yeah, that
last.
shit was great. There we go.
was great, but
I was
it
trying to
didn't
get my little promo thing to actually fit.
Also, before we continue, I want to thank Blue Grayson for gifting 5 subs on our Twitch side, Evie Dark Horse for gifting 1 sub, Kadnati resubbing with his Prime, Evie resubbing, Goku Madness resubbing, and we appreciate all you guys over there.
Yeah. I do apologize. I can't see Twitch stuff anymore ever since we went to StreamYard, so that's why Dan handles it.
Well, if you hit the comments section, like you look at the StreamYard, look at the comments, like if it was this private chat, and then click on comments, you'll see a little icon, red, purple, for which comments are which.
It doesn't.
It doesn't say the subs.
Like,
oh no, it
new
does not tell you
and
the
stuff,
subs. No,
though.
that's nonsense. Yeah. But yes, you can see the comments, but you can't see who they are.
If you guys get a green light, if you guys could green light an LA or
live action,
action, thank you, for Disney Plus based on a comic, what would you pick? For me, Starjammers and Strange Academy. Gwenpool. I was thinking today, where the hell's Gwenpool been for 2 years?
Seriously.
I feel like Gwenpool would be
Or
one
Deadpool.
of those ones that would be tricky because of the way her powers work. And if you're not doing it in a comic format, it would be interesting to see how you do that for on screen.
I think you go movie
kind of
with
thing.
it, where it's
Go
like
movie?
where she like cuts the film or like or hacks into like
I
the
could see
digital
that.
video. But like, I'd go film with it rather than comic book. Like do that kind of meta commentary.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
speaking of
we are
fourth wall
streaming on
breaks,
both
by the
YouTube
way,
and Twitch right now.
yes. And speaking of fourth wall breaks, don't read last week's Flash issue.
Oh god, it's terrible. It's terrible. Dude, for some reason they decided in the middle of the current Flash arc, we're gonna make this one for 8-year-olds. Take your comic and turn it sideways so that we can get dumped into the next panel.
But
now make sure you.
It's
my favorite
Dr.
though was
Fate, and he goes, "Readers, blow on the page to blow out the candle." Like,
right,
what?
and then you turn the page and you blow out the candles. Yeah,
What?
it reminded me of like that old school like Peter Pan. Oh my god! Everyone clap for
Clap your
Tinkerbell.
hands. That's
I did, by the
weird.
way. I was like 5. You know.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
god, Tinkerbell!
I vividly remember being like, let's see if she makes it this time. Yeah, man. No. By the way, pitch for Disney Plus, make Spider-Man a live action ongoing show. I think you'll be able to actually like delve into the Daily Bugle. You get to meet all the cast. You get to take time. Barring that, Damage Control.
Or Spider-Gwen. I saw that in our chat. That'd be a good one. Because you could get the
Spider-Man's a show.
Spider-Gwen?
Spider-Gwen's a cartoon show, man. You got to make a Spider-Gwen cartoon that looks like the art.
That's what I'm saying. You could easily do that. Like, and that would be, you could dive into so much of the Spider-Man lore as a cartoon, not just his early years. I don't even know how they're going to work with that. Like that.
Oh, you mean freshman year?
Yeah. It doesn't sound. We're going to show you how he got to where he teamed up with Tony Stark. Pretty sure it was like 6 months and he didn't find any villains.
It's a 6-month window. Oh, I mean, maybe he fought he couldn't have fought Shocker because Shocker's introduced in Homecoming, but he could fight somebody else like
Rhino. No, is Rhino in Homecoming? No, that was
Rhino's not in Homecoming. You could do Rhino. You could do Rhino. You couldn't do Vulture. You could do Lizard.
His version of Lizard.
His version of Lizard, but I don't think they're going to do that because they're introducing Lizard in this.
I thought of what I would pick for a live action show, and one that would actually make sense. West Coast Avengers, follow it as a sequel to the Hawkeye series right now.
Yeah.
Have it be led by Kate Bishop. You can bring in Gwenpool. Like, there's so much. Jet
Hey
and
guys,
Land Shark.
I just threw out a link for you guys in the chat there. If you like discussions with the three of us, then make sure you go check out Absolutely Marvel and DC, a new channel we started 6 months ago. It's been piping potty little fresh. I don't know. I'm too old.
Please don't say that ever again.
I don't even.
I don't
It's
even know
Justice
what you said.
League. Justice League I Watchtower based on is that the Incarnate
Incarnate.
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, or international.
Oh,
think it's-
that would make more sense.
Yeah.
Because international was very much a sitcom. I would love to see a Keith Giffen, DeMatteis, McGuire, JLI TV show. But we kind of did, and it's really, really bad. Go check out the Justice League TV movie pilot, and it's very similar to JLI. It's just also horrendous.
So,
But you
all
do
right,
get
well,
to
we
see an
wanna keep this up.
on-screen Martian Manhunter and stuff.
How would I bring the X-Men into the MCU? I've talked about that so many times, Lord Rao.
That's a video, man. That's monetizable. That's not a super.
I know, but we've literally talked about it so many times in so many podcasts.
People want to hear it again. All right, here's a whole new show. That's changed the thumbnail. Here it goes. MCU pitches for the for the X-Men. But no, seriously, let's
get started for realsies.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
one
do the
more.
show.
How about Squadron Supreme for
Ooh.
the MCU? That'd be fun.
Dude,
That'd
you know
be a
who
fun
should
one.
direct a Squadron Supreme movie? Chloe Zhao, who did Eternals, because she basically did. There's
That's
a
true.
Flash, a Wonder Woman, a Cyborg, a Superman, and they were awesome.
Yes, international. Benny, never say that again.
Oh, Just League Incarnate?
Yeah.
Have you read it yet? I have not
No.
read
It was me saying like the flippity floppity floopity.
Oh,
fresh
yeah.
shit,
Yeah. The
All right, Dan,
toilet,
get out of here.
whatever.
So we can do the real show. All right, guys, we'll talk about. We'll look more at your questions at post show.
Yes.
I will be pulling up any super chats just because I feel like if you're spending extra, we should try to get to it during the show.
Agreed.
But we are going to be focused on our podcast for the next hour. Once again, if you enjoy these types of discussions, please check out our podcast center channel. We do all the movie reviews, discussions, trailers. We had one video go live today where Sal and I were correct on our theories based on leaks from No Way Home. That's over there if you want to see it.
Yep.
All right. How would I bring Deadpool into the MCU? I wouldn't even acknowledge it. I would literally have
just
him
put him in.
I would literally have him show up and be like, "Oh, Disney bought it. Cool."
Yeah.
And that, like, just say it. Just
Yeah. I'm here now. You know how they did how they changed Jim Rhodes. Listen, I'm here. Deal with it.
So let me get the topics going. All right. And 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Absolute Comics, the show where I get together with a good buddy of mine, Sal from Comic Pop, and we sit down and talk about all the latest comic book news found by my illustrious cast of people who work for. Why can't I talk today? Maybe waking up at 3 a.m. after a vacation. Like, we went into vacation, which, by the way, I found hilarious, the amount of people that kept tweeting me and messaging me, "Where is your review of Hawkeye?"
Like, I don't know about you, but like, did you watch it while you were with your family on Thanksgiving? Because that's where I watched it.
Like, my entire, and the best part was Sal was out of town. The editor was out of town. I was home. I could have done it alone, but yes, this is the show where I get together with Sal every Tuesday at about 4 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern, and we chat over at twitch.tv/Comicstorian, sometimes co-streamed over here at youtube.com/Comicstorian, and then it's uploaded to our podcast-centric channel, Absolute Comics. If you like this type of discussion and you want even more of it, check out Absolutely Marvel and DC, our joint channel we finally made to talk about these kinds of things. So anyway, so the topics today are going to be fun, right?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, my cat is currently at the hospital getting her stitches removed from all of that stuff. And apparently my wife is linking me stuff and it's all nothing important. So,
Okay.
But of course I'm like, oh, let me see what's going on.
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home ticket sales crashing. We're going to be talking about Hawkeye episode 3 and 4. We'll have a combined runtime. Joshua Williamson explaining stuff on Justice League Incarnate. Young Justice Phantoms finishing its production. Deleted scene from Shang-Chi. Eternal spoilers. And Amy Pascal and Tom Holland's latest back and forth ruining each other's day. But before we get into that, as usual, we're going to talk about the comic books we have read recently because I've actually caught up on quite a few.
Nice.
And I also want to tell you a little bit of a story about people pestering me on Thanksgiving. And I say pestering intentionally. Okay, so for those who don't know, and YouTube is a terrible time to make content during Thanksgiving. From a business standpoint, you don't get a lot of monetization for your stuff. So you just don't normally do a lot of things unless it's super important. The Absolutely Marvel and DC channel is where Sal and I do reviews of like Hawkeye, Flash, stuff like that. And because that channel has an editor, basically an intern to get sources and stuff like that, there's a team for that. We had to give them all the time off, took the weekend ourselves, and we decided to go for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Now, that led to a few people asking me where my Flash review was, where my Hawkeye review was, and I told them I'm on Thanksgiving. It'll all be up on Monday, Tuesday. But I got an interesting email, Sal. I want to tell you this story. It's fun. Okay. So I occasionally get emails from people wanting podcast interviews or radio interviews or college interviews. And that's the one that I got this time. It's students who apparently need to find somebody to, I don't know. I never had to deal with that when I was in college, but you got to find someone to interview.
Okay. I've had that happen, but not to me. But I've never been the person doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I get them probably once or twice, I'd say about every month or so, at least one every month. Not a ton of them, but I've gotten them. And occasionally I respond to them and I'll be like, well, what exactly are you looking for? What kind of a time commitment? Generally, my days are blocked off from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. But I sometimes can work extra things in if people want me in their podcast or things like that.
Exactly.
I got the email on Thanksgiving. Okay. And they told me the school, and it was U.S. based. So we're not talking about someone not in the U.S. who's trying to get.
I'm going to a Nigerian school that's. Yeah.
So I responded with the usual. What exactly are you looking for? Let me know. I'll see if I can work it into my schedule. I responded Friday morning.
Yeah.
Friday afternoon, I get another email basically stating, yes, I'd like to get you on Zoom. You don't have to actually be on camera if you don't want to. It's going to be about 5 questions, maximum 30 minutes. And I'm like, so I saw it come through Friday night and I'm like, yeah, I'll respond to that one after the holiday. You know what I mean? Not that big a deal. It's Friday night, holiday weekend. Maybe I wasn't even in the office the entire weekend for the most part. And so Saturday morning, I get another email.
It's 30
So I responded Friday morning, got a second email Friday night, and then the third email officially because I didn't respond Friday night, Saturday morning. So this email responds very aggressively. I'm sorry, Mr. Potter. I will cut right to the chase. I just need to get you to talk to my school. I need to do this in a timely manner, and we need to have this happen as soon as we can. And basically, like, and the wording that got my nerves was, and I haven't heard from you in a few days.
Oh no. Okay.
And so I respond with, literally, I just respond with, I emailed you yesterday. Right. It's a holiday weekend. If you need this in a hurry, I won't have time for this. Thank you. Good luck with your project.
Right.
And then they respond again.
Oh, no.
Well, when are you free so we can try to make this work? Like,
it's not going to happen, man.
I already told you no. No,
you already made your bed. Kid doesn't have any idea like how badly he screwed up. That's one of those teachable moments. As a teacher, I was like, ooh, like that would have been one of those things where it would have been an email like, dear so-and-so, like, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to get an insight into who you are as a person. Unfortunately, due to the following like issues, you will not be receiving an interview with me. Here's the like, and in the future, I might take these to heart. And it's like, don't do the following things. Like, don't lie about how long it took. Don't be aggressive. Be patient with your subject. Like you need them more than they need you. Like, please keep that in mind.
Right.
Like, but no, that's such a teachable moment. And I hope that they learn. Like, I hope they tell their professor, like, hey, I tried to have this guy, but he flaked on me. And it's like, show me the email correspondence. And it's like, you screwed that up.
We got a quick super chat here over on the YouTube side. I don't know if you remember, but I tweeted you some time ago to see if you could help me find a particular Green Lantern issue. First one I ever read. Finally found it, issue 120. That's nice. Awesome. I don't remember because your name, everybody's favorite puppy, does not pop up on my memory. I will say for people who do tweet me to try and find individual issues, I'm terrible about getting back to that because a lot of times I will look at it and go, all right, I'll see what I can do. Ooh, a puppy. Like, right. It's just my ADD kicks in. It's not me ignoring you.
No.
It's like the people that go, can you tell me what song you used on this video 5 years ago at this segment?
No.
Maybe, but puppy.
Right.
Like,
yeah, no, dude, like, no, I can't. I'm not Google.
But no, I'm glad you did end up finding it. Everybody's favorite puppy. Good job with that.
That's great.
But yeah, no, I just thought you get a kick out of that email I got on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I also get a few people that I've been dealing with that I just like, it seems like the holiday doesn't matter to them at all, which I'm only annoyed because I avoid family on Thanksgiving. I know it's like taboo to do that, But Thanksgiving and Christmas are my only major breaks because no one will call me.
Yeah, because they
And this
understand.
Thanksgiving,
Like,
everyone, yeah. Well, and my family knows, and I'll go see them off the holiday, like, or they can come here. Those are the options I give them. You can come here, we'll do the dinner here, but I ain't
come
going
here,
nowhere.
or that's it.
Yeah, like I'm not flying. I'm not dealing with that. I'm not staying in a crappy hotel. I'm not staying in your guest bedroom 5 doors down while I listen to my sister's baby crying. No. I'm relaxing. You can come see me, or I'll see you after the holiday.
Right. That's a great position to be in. I gotta tell you. Yeah.
So, but I also caught up on a lot of comic books.
Excellent.
And no one told me that Throg made an Avengers team in Thor 17.
I
Did you
didn't
know this?
That. No, I know Throg has been more prevalent than ever, but I didn't know what he was up to. I don't care about Throg.
So over in Thor, he's lost Mjolnir. He doesn't know where it is, and everyone can seem to use it, right?
Yeah.
And so it ends up
That's still going?
Yeah, that's still other things happen, and he just doesn't tell anyone that he could just drop this and everyone could run off with it.
Okay.
But
Cool.
he wants Throg's help, and Throg's like, I've made an Avengers team.
Okay. Of animals?
Of animals.
Is it the Pet Avengers? Is it like Lockjaw? And
It's Lockjaw. It's what's the ghost Basset Hound? That
yeah, it's Bats something, I think.
I think it's Bats.
There you go.
But Thor's incredible, but I'm wondering what was going on with 16 to 17 with Throg, because they set this whole thing up, and then the next issue, Thor's like, all right, well, I'm off to find the hammer. What happened to Throg?
Yeah. What's up with his Pet Avengers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another super chat over here. You tried hard to help, but don't worry. Okay, so I did respond. I did get back to you.
There we go. All right.
And then Slow DK has given a 7-year sub. All Lanterns Explained was my first video. I'm so glad. Thank you for being here for 7 years.
Nice. Wow, 7 years. Holy crap.
Yeah, it tells you how long I've been doing this, Sal. I saw a YouTuber put up their video, 10-year anniversary, and I'm like, holy crap. I got 2 years to think of something.
Yep. Right? Yeah. That's cool.
So, yeah, read that one. Have you read the new Incredible Hulk by Donny Cates?
Yes.
I like and dislike it at the same time.
Yeah.
And I get a feeling my dislike's going to go out the window 3 or 4 issues in. I do think
I think so. I mean, Cates is an accomplished writer, and unlike the only major dud in his Marvel work, critically across the board, pretty much is his Doctor Strange, because it's just so utterly forgettable. And it's mostly just him undoing whatever Aaron did. Like, it's just him trying to be like, okay, magic's back. Here you go. And then he moves on. With Hulk, clearly he wrote this thing like years ago and just was like, now it's my turn to write Hulk. Let's see, they've got this big table here with all this stuff. And then just, here's my thing from like a few years ago that I wrote. Let's go for it. Spaceship Hulk. Smashtronaut.
My complaint with it is it's running off of the idea of Bruce Banner being evil.
Right. Or at least a jerk.
Did that recently. That's not like that happened 20 years ago.
No.
There's a run where Hulk and Banner are fighting because Banner's insane and trying to like blow up the world.
Yeah.
And Hulk is hulking out trying to stop him.
Yeah.
And that to me is why I'm like, this just feels like that what we did already. Like, we already did that. And that was recent, like within 5 years recent.
Oh, I know. No, dude. And you know what that is? I can imagine Donny Cates being like, yeah, that's fair. Okay. But I never wrote it.
Yeah. Well, he might do something different with it. And so
There's no
far,
doubt
other than I think 2 Donny Cates things, I've liked everything else. So
Exactly.
3 or 4 in, he might, because this is just the first issue, 20 pages to set it up. And the
Right.
setup is evil Banner using Spaceship Hulk to fight things. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can explain that better than what they did before, I'm on board.
Totally. I will say it's super dumb, but I couldn't stop reading it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you,
That's
but
what I mean. I really dug it.
But
It's just, it gave me vibes of like, we did this, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to go in its own direction.
I didn't really like it, but I found myself engaged and wanting to know what happens next. And that's like enough for me. I was like, whoa, like I hate this. Why am I still reading it? Like, why am I really like, I don't know if I can call it enjoyment. I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know what the phenomenon is. It's really kind of like vexing. But it's interesting.
I mean, well, you're already not a huge Donny Cates fan. I mean, I'm open.
No, I like Donny Cates' work. I'm not the world's biggest Hulk fan, and with Donny Cates, it's like not everything he does is like hand to God the best thing I've ever seen. But like,
right,
God Country's amazing. Like,
it's funny because I think Donny Cates, Hickman, Aaron, they fall into that category of there is a fan base. It's like, I don't care what if they sneezed on this, it is God's gift to everything.
You named 3 writers where I'm like, wow, yeah, I love and hate things that they've all written. Like,
I've gotten in arguments with those fans where I'm like, this is not good. What are they doing? And the fans like, no, you just don't know they're genius. Like,
Right. Yeah. No, you don't understand. You're not in the
Genius?
cult. If you were in the cult, you'd like everything that he wrote. And it's like, that's not enough for me. I have to actually be engaged in the story. But apparently, yeah. But no, this Hulk book is bizarre, but I'm in. Like,
yeah,
it's,
I'm in. I'm in for anything Hulk right now because they've just been ignoring him. Like, I'm waiting for Deadpool and Gwenpool to come back because they've just been ignoring them.
Somebody
Now,
needs a really killer pitch for both of them.
Hulk got ignored for years until Immortal Hulk, and then we got
Yeah.
a crazy Immortal Hulk run. That was great.
Yep.
And like, it's a lot to follow up on, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
It is.
We got another $5 super chat from just some guy with a mustache. I'll get you there, Sal. I have 31 days. Let's go. I don't know what that was referencing.
We're trying to hit 100K over on youtube.com/comic pop. Just some guy with a mustache has been there. He's a lifer. He's been there forever, and I've met him in person.
He's been on all our channels forever.
He's amazing. Yeah, actually, if you follow him, like you've probably seen his comments on any video you might have watched. Like he's prolific.
To me, he's one of the weekly poll OGs. If you're watching this live and you're a weekly poll OG, give me something in chat. Just give me a hands up or whatever.
Yeah.
We also got Dominic B. I started a crappy job when you started out. Your videos got me through these crappy days.
Nice.
We could do a whole show about how long we've been doing this. That's
true.
And you know what I love, just as a quick comment? I love people that still to this day want to tell me how to do the job or tell me that I was so much better years ago.
Oh my God. Yeah, I love them. I really like that element where people who don't have a successful YouTube channel come in and go, here's what you're doing wrong. And I'm like, who are you?
Oh, I love the comments that I get sometimes are like, I said recently that I don't know Despero. The guy from
Yeah, Despero.
Despero. I was like, I don't really know who Despero is. Somebody commented, imagine having a comic book channel not knowing who Despero is. And I Googled him. I'm like, how? Like, is he somebody I should know? No.
Not really. I mean,
he popped up like 3 times. Like,
yeah, no. Like, yeah. I love that. It's fun. It's fun to see. I'm like,
I just love that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But,
what else are you reading? How do you like DC Vampires?
I'm weirdly liking it.
Me too.
I've never sat there and enjoying a conversation of the Bat family having coffee and tea and chocolate and hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Enjoying the banter, but also going, Alfred's the vampire. He's totally the vampire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I think the whole Bat family, except for Batman, is a vampire. I think they're all vampires.
I didn't think about that. They're all vampires?
I think they're all vampires. Alfred, caught wise to it days ago, screwed over Batman, and he's like, yeah, no, now we know your plan. Thank you, Batman. God. And Batman's gonna be like, no. Okay, who's on my team? Arrow. Ollie, kill all my family. I can't do it. But you guys.
I will say, I did not know James Tynion was writing this. I thought it was Tom Taylor, the way the back and forth is. I thought it was Tom Taylor.
I remember them saying, I remember Tynion pushing this book a while ago, and then just reading it absolutely being like, Tom Taylor's doing another fun DC's type book. And then I looked at them,
this is such a Tom Taylor thing.
Yeah, no. And now it's like Tynion and Rosenberg are like, we could do that. We could do Tom Taylor. Here you go. And I'm right on.
He's doing an amazing job over there. I was writing the tweet today, and I literally wrote Tom Taylor before Tynion, and I double checked. I'm like, wait, that's not Taylor, is it?
No. No, he's doing Avengers Deceased.
Yeah. We got another super chat over here, $13 Canadian. Hey guys, been a fan of the channel for a while, ever since Darkseid War. Would you consider covering Scott Snyder, Charlie Soule's Swamp Thing, or Jeff Lemire's Ant-Man? That's more of a Comicstorian direct question, but those actually were on the plans to do, like the last 3 Halloweens. And I always get distracted and don't do them.
Yeah, my Halloween books are always like, here's a great one, and then I'm like, I'll do this one instead, and then
that's what's happened every year.
Yeah. Swamp Thing, man. Good idea.
What have you read? Anything outside of those?
My X-Men stuff. Nothing huge. I'm loving Supergirl. Did you read any of Justice League Last Ride? It's a couple of weeks old, but it just finished. That was the out of continuity Elseworlds type Justice League book by Chip Zdarsky, where it could have easily been in continuity, but it's not.
I was reading it at the beginning, then fell off, figured I'd finish it when it was done, and then I heard it's terrible. So
I don't think it's terrible, but I'm kind of like, this is one of those, Zdarsky had a Justice League run in a drawer, and they're like, he got the Substack deal and went, well, I'm probably never gonna get to take over Justice League, so I'm just gonna give it to them here. Like, and they went, okay, here you go. Here's a book. It's very like, it's good, the art's fine, but it's one of those things where I'm like, where did this come from and why did they do this? Like, I'm reading a lot of any Justice League book I'm reading right now is out of continuity.
Right.
I am excited for that Wonder Woman book because what's it called? The Black Label book that's by Kelly Sue DeConnick and Phil Jimenez. Amazon's whatever.
Yeah, that one looks good. Yeah.
I've seen that cover since they announced Black Label. It's finally coming out. Literally since Black Label was announced, they've said this book was coming.
You're not
this
wrong.
long.
Black Label's been a disaster in general.
Oh no, it's in terms of branding, it's a nightmare. Like it's just
honestly, these recent couple of years of Marvel kind of ignoring its own continuity, DC kind of ignoring continuity and doing a lot of out of continuity books. To me, this says comic books need to move in this direction. They need to be easy to read, out of continuity books, and there needs to be one or two that are in continuity that maintains the traditional comic book line.
Yeah.
But so many stories are just not being placed into continuity. It's kind of like, it's refreshing. It's easy for me to jump in.
Yeah.
Like right now, if you're reading Flash, it's technically in continuity, but they're not treating it like it is. It's just Wally being Flash.
Right.
It's not great, but it's not good. It's not bad either. It's just
right, but you could easily read it.
I mean, yeah, you could jump in at any point and be like, oh, it's the Flash fighting Heatwave. I know those characters.
Yeah.
And to me, it just says like maybe the day of 30 issues a week continuity is done. Maybe we're in a different era of comic books and storytelling and things like that, between manga and binge watching and stuff like that. People just want to grab a book, read 6 issues of a Justice League story, and not worry, where's Hal? Where's this guy? Oh, he died? What's happening?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I mean, like, if you look at Justice League Incarnate, which I haven't read yet, but, like, all of Infinite Frontier, Williamson was doing all this work, like, doing some heavy lifting, trying to, like, fix continuity. But, like, when he finished Infinite Frontier, you could tell he went, like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like no one cares. No one's hyped. If they were, like, if continuity really, really mattered, or if crises were huge in terms of making people read them, people would have been really hyped for Infinite Frontier. The fact that they like weren't suggests to, I'm sure, all of them, I guess we could just do whatever the hell we want. And like, if we manage to do like a toe in the water or like a nod into continuity, that's enough for most mainstream readers.
Yeah. I mean, for me, Injustice kind of proved we could just have a single comic book that features all the characters and tells a great story. Because the general concept of Injustice isn't original, isn't amazing, nothing. Superman turns evil. How is that? How we have Red Sun. We have Superman, the son of Darkseid. Like, this is not new.
We got a gazillion different versions of that. Like, you don't even have to go with evil Superman. You could go with evil Superman analog. I mean, like, Omni-Man. Like,
but what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. I think Injustice kind of showed, just do one comic that doesn't end. That continuity is easy to maintain and keep going.
Yeah.
And it's great because you can do it.
Yeah, totally.
But I think that's a discussion for a whole other day. You want to get into our big topic?
Let's do it. Yeah,
our biggest topics? Okay.
Yeah, big.
Spider-Man No Way Home. Ticket sales crashed theater websites when tickets went on sale Monday morning at midnight. Fans are freaking out, and some tickets have begun to be sold on eBay by scalpers, some in the thousands of dollars. Ticket pre-purchases have already surpassed the number of tickets pre-purchased for Avengers Endgame.
It's pretty cool. Like, I don't want to put too fine a point on it, and I do want to talk about like that phenomenon because I was caught in that storm as well. But I also want to say, Marvel has made a sales and critical juggernaut through pioneering the MCU, and it was all thanks to not having Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But apparently, I don't know if you know this, Spider-Man is a very popular character. And
what?
All it took was suggesting 3 Spider-Men would be in one of the Spider-Man movies.
They technically have not confirmed that yet.
Oh, I know. Just allow the noise to focus its voice into saying there's going to be 3 Spider-Men in the movie for maybe 25 minutes, and it will dwarf, or at the very least reach, the same critical mass as a 10-year cinematic achievement totaling dozens of characters, one of whom is Spider-Man.
We got a quick super chat before I respond to that. Hey,
Yeah,
Betty
yeah.
South finally dropped in and said, hi, thanks for all the content over the last 6 years. It inspired me to create comic book content.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, it's so for me, the ticket sales weren't a problem. I woke up Monday, saw everyone freaking out on Twitter,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, Thursday, 2 people. Well, I'll grab this batch and we're good.
Yeah, my wife did the exact same thing. I was like, "Oh, screw it." I was 11:58. I was at my computer and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to jump in. Let me see if I can do it." Went to the website and it was a disaster. Like AMC was not equipped to handle it. It kept like bouncing me in and out of the room. Like I got through. It was like, and it looked like it was handled because it was like, "You're in the queue. Your queue has 3 minutes." And I'm like, "Cool." And then 10 minutes later, your queue has 2 minutes. And I'm like, okay, it's working. Then not a 1 minute. Then it played a song and then it immediately went to an error page. And I'm like, oh, then I refreshed it, different error page. Refreshed it again, took me into the theater that I clicked on. Oh, then it went away back to an error page. And I'm like, what? And then it went back and I was able to select tickets, put them in the cart, went back to an error page, lost that, then refreshed that. Those seats are no longer available. And I'm like, like it was a nightmare. But my wife then the next morning was like, bink, bink, here you go.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because we're getting old, Sal. But even when I got them, I didn't care.
No.
Like most of this movie, one has already been leaked and spoiled, and due to our jobs, I know most of it.
Right. I don't want to be spoiled moment for moment. Like I have
Right.
managed to avoid a lot of spoilers. I avoided all Endgame of spoilers. I avoided all Afterlife spoilers. Like I have managed to avoid a lot of spoilers over the years, despite my career being talking about Spider-Man and other
You're doing
comics.
better than me. I gave up caring after Metal Gear Solid 5 was spoiled.
That's an odd flag to plant, but
Okay,
I
there's
hear
3 video game franchises I'm a huge fan of: Metal Gear Solid, Assassin's Creed, and Final Fantasy. Metal Gear
on.
Solid 5 was coming out, and at the time, my
You were
wife
doing
and I
gaming
ran,
channels.
we had the
Yeah.
gaming channel, and one of our biggest videos was doing lore and Metal Gear. A week before the game dropped, it got leaked, and someone decided to hit me up and be like, here's the ending.
Oh,
And I'm like, well, at this point, if I either do this career and stop caring,
right.
or I go find another career.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's rough, man. That sucks. But what
I'm saying is I didn't really care about Spider-Man. Like if I'm seeing it Thursday, and we can review it Friday.
Same.
Conveniently, you, me, and Dylan all got tickets for Thursday, so that worked out well.
It's true.
Dad's giving me the stink eye from behind the camera because I didn't even tell him to go for it. But
if he wants to fly to Jersey, I have extra tickets.
I mean, I do too. Maybe we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. Let's see how it's gonna pan out.
Yeah.
Basically, for me, I got 6 tickets for the team.
Yes.
Or me and the wife. So it's
That's
up to her who gets to go.
That's us. We have tickets for the team, or we'll return them tomorrow. And
yeah, exactly.
not. Yeah.
But anyway, it's like, but if I didn't get it, I mean, traditionally we're going to review that movie the day it technically comes out on Friday.
Right.
But the way we work that Absolutely Marvel and DC, the channel where you and I talk about TV shows and movies all about superhero themed rumors, discussions, and reviews, you should go check it out. Link in the comments down below.
And subscribe.
Like and subscribe. We normally do it the Monday after the movie comes out. So I wasn't that panicked.
No.
I was like, I'll see it. And if I don't like what happened with the Turtles, you two will just review it.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, exactly. For a second, I thought you said the Turtles. I'm like, oh, there was a Turtles movie? Did I miss it? No, but
No.
Yeah, Eternals. Yeah. And yeah, I wasn't like crestfallen. I was just kind of like, oh, that sucks. And then, but I'll probably see it on like Saturday or Sunday, because there are enough theaters and I'm in a densely populated area. Like we'll probably catch it. But, and I also had in my back pocket, I had I'll just rent the theater.
Oh yeah, they do that thing, don't they? Where you can technically rent a theater for a couple $100 instead of.
I'll just rent the theater. I'll write it off, and I'll try to cram it with as many of my friends as possible, and just go.
You should do like a comic pop. If you're in Jersey, we got a theater. Come hang out.
Oh my god, I do not want to do that only because of there's still strains and variants. There would have been so many different meetups and stuff. Like Kevin Smith just opened up a theater. And I was like, oh, we're going to do that. Now I'm like, I'll wait. I'll wait until spring. But like, yes.
Yeah, well, without going into a whole hot topic of COVID again, I'm still on that boat of like, we still have the rule of anywhere we go, if it's too packed, we just, all right.
Exactly.
We'll whatever we're doing.
Well, and the thing is, for me, and this will be the last I talk about COVID, but I wanted to be like, I don't want anyone to get COVID because they came to see us. That's the thing I want to do. Like, I'm just like, no, I don't want it to be like, like Rinky Dink YouTube channel event causes massive outbreak. I'm like, no, I don't want to be that guy.
If I've got a few people in the chat over here, they're wondering how much it costs to rent at a theater. When I looked into it, because that was the thing they were doing initially, like,
Yeah.
oh, theaters, come rent one out. It was only like $120.
It's $120 to see
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and I'm like, well, if I buy 3 tickets, I've basically rented the theater.
Well, that was it too, because we wanted to go see a movie, and I was like, well, if I get the team tickets, that's like $100.
Yeah,
Or I spent 20 more and I got a theater.
and I got
Like,
my own theater. Like, are you kidding me? And by the way,
Yeah.
we did that. We did that for, was it? No, we saw Venom in Dolby, which was the loudest movie I've ever seen. Shang-Chi. We rented it for Shang-Chi, which maybe we shouldn't have, but it was fun to go. And it was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Well, it's also an
hey.
experience, because once things get back to normal, that is not going to be $120.
No, because you used to be able to do that, and I did it for a friend's bachelor party about like 5 or 10 years ago, and it was like $300 to $400.
Yeah, it's gonna go up to a point. We got 2 more super chats over here. Supra Star DC. I'm just gonna go to my local drive-in to see Spider-Man. I wish I had drive-ins.
That's
over here.
awesome. I'd have to drive to Warwick, New York to do that, and I'm not going to do that.
Warwick, New York. I'm from Warwick, Rhode Island.
I know.
We also got $10 Canadian. Websites crashing must have been only a thing in the US, UK. I got tickets from my mother and I on Thursday. The showing is nearly sold out, but I still got us tickets. I didn't even have the crash, so I do know what you're talking about, Captain Con.
I definitely had the crash.
Yeah.
Weird.
But yeah, no, it was interesting to see. And I'm loving, it's got to be a meme. The $25,000 Spider-Man No Way Home tickets.
Don't pay money for a scalped movie ticket.
You'll get a ticket by Monday. Worst
Right.
case scenario, you don't see it that weekend. You stay off social media. You'll be fine.
And you don't need, odds are you're not doing it for a living. I'm still going to stay off social media, and I do it for a living. Like, I'm literally.
It's funny because today at the office I came in, we were filming our anime-inspired Dungeons & Dragons 5e module game, Miscreation, for our Dungeons and Ale channel, which you should go check out if you like Dungeons & Dragons. Wow, this episode is turning into plug the movie.
Yeah. There's some content in there. There's a little piece of content you can squeeze.
But we were showing up to do that today, and Dan brought up, I think, that it was $25,000. And Andy, the guy in our team that is the most frugal, I want to swear, but you know what I want to say, that you'll ever meet, is like, so we're going to sell the tickets, right?
Like, what? How dare you? That's funny.
All right, so next topic on our list here, we got Hawkeye's episode 3 and 4 have a combined runtime of 80 minutes, making them the shortest runtime of all the Disney Plus Marvel shows.
Weird.
All this says to me
Yeah.
is that they wanted to make movies that were longer than the normal 3 hours, and they couldn't do it.
Dude, I don't even think it's that. I think it's they wanted to make movies, but they also need to push this freaking app. So they were like, take a movie that we normally would like, because I've been saying this for years, and I know you've heard it at least 1,000 times, but I will say it one more time for posterity. There are a lot of Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that only need to be maximum $50 million. Like,
oh yeah,
Black Widow should have been 60. There's
if it was 60, you wouldn't get her bouncing around an airship breaking physics, man.
That's fine. It would have been on Madripoor, and it would have been grounded and more relevant. But like, whatever. What do I know? But like, there are a lot of these movies where it's like you don't need to spend that much, but they do anyway. And Disney Plus is one of those things where we spent trillions of dollars to become a Netflix competitor, so we need to justify this thing. And so the new mandate, like you could see, like when they did their last D23 thing and they talked about the Netflix or the Disney Plus shows, they were like, the future of the Marvel is a Disney Plus. And it's like they went, well, we'd never normally make a Hawkeye movie, but if we did, it would probably cost about this much money. And if it's going to cost this much money, why don't we make it into a show and adapt like what is essentially like a sprawling script and make that into a show. So these are just like everything. Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Hawkeye, Ms. Marvel. These are all just movies. Falcon Winter Soldier is the biggest example of that so far. Just stretched and added more stuff. Like just
I'm not
crap.
against that though. I'm not against that because some of these movies, you're like, man, I wish we just had a little bit more breathing room. Things like Hawkeye right now is incredible because they have the breathing room. Because a lot of like him walking through New York and seeing the Ant-Man cosplayer and stuff like that, or the LARPing. That all would have been cut for the sake of a movie or turned into 2 minutes.
The costumers and in the city would have been a half second. It would have been the Katniss Everdeen line. Boom, that's the end of it. Like I like what they're doing. Also, we got another super chat from Khalil Frederick. Did you guys hear about Super Sons coming back? I did not. I'm excited. No.
But are we going to have the original John or this aged up
No,
John?
it's going to be aged up John.
That is not a Super Son. Whatever.
Yeah. He's a super dude and his little friend.
They should read it. Super dude and his little friend.
Yeah.
That should be the theme song. No, but like I loved that's what I like. Some of the Disney Plus shows, like Loki could have dropped an episode, WandaVision could have taken the first 3 episodes, made it 1 episode. I feel like they're stretching it too far.
Yeah.
But but I am gonna say, if I have to pick too long with a lot more fluff just to give me more context, or shorten it down and then I feel like I'm missing something, I'll take the too long.
Oh,
I'll take the 3. I'll
always,
take the 3
every
episode
time.
WandaVision. I'll take the
'cause
episode of Loki walking the planet. I'll take those.
Yeah, totally. No, I mean, even my favorite Netflix show is obviously Daredevil. I'll take the whole episode dedicated to Karen Page's past if I get 2 hallway fights.
Yeah.
And,
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
right. Like
Loki, I hated that episode where he walked across the planet and we got 0 context from Sylphie.
yeah, that.
But if I have to do that to then get the other 6 or 7 episodes of Loki being awesome, okay, fine, whatever.
But the thing about that, it's funny for me, like that walking across the planet scene, like I would have just taken a space diner. Like you could have saved so much money and it would have looked way better if you had just if you want to see a scene or set an entire 30-minute episode of a $1 million show that's only going to have like 6 episodes where 2 characters just talk to each other. You got to make it really snappy. It's got to be written really well. And just put it in a diner. Don't waste time with this horrible green screen because the Mandalorian set wasn't built yet. Like, because by the way, like that 360 room, shoot them all in there now. Are you kidding me? Mandalorian is amazing looking.
I love how we went from live action on
God.
set, go to locations, to green screen, back to doing it on location to make it more realistic, to now we're at super green screen.
Right. Now it's like, well, how about instead of it being green screen, it's just a big LCD or LED screen that shows you what it's supposed to look like. Like that, by the way, that Unreal thing. I don't know if you watched any of those documentaries, but like,
I have, yeah.
Oh my God. Like I was watching.
I'm excited for Boba Fett. I love Boba Fett, but I don't give a crap about Boba Fett's past. Leave him mysterious, leave him the way he is. What I'm excited for is the cinematic achievements they're going to be making with this show.
Yeah. Oh, it just looks so great. And season 2 of Mandalorian was so much. It was just more, but the integration of live props with like lighting conditions and all this stuff. I'm like, this is exactly what you need to be doing. It's a perfect integration of like real and special effects, and it looks really good. But you still have costuming and everything. That's what you need to do. Shoot your Marvel shows on there. But like, I'll take those. I'll take more over less every day of the week.
That's what I'm saying. As much as I want to bitch and moan and nitpick like we do on our absolutely Marvel and DC channel, where we talk about movies and TV shows about your favorite superheroes, we do a lot of nitpicking. But the fact of the matter is, we're nitpicking because they're great. We just got to find something to talk about. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, because that's the thing. Like everybody is always every piece of criticism we ever get on any of our shows, either on our respective channels or on our own shows, is like, God, I can't agree with these guys. And it's like, dude, how many podcasts or YouTube channels do you watch where a couple of white guys just go, yeah, and then this, yeah, and it's like that's so boring. To listen to people just agree with each other all day. I don't know, like, and just have someone go like, "Here's what you say," but for me, that's what I just said. I agree.
That's
with
what
that
Dan
guy.
does all the time. That's why I don't invite him into these things. So anyway, moving on to our next topic here. Joshua Williamson explains that Justice League Incarnate is the Act 2 in his trilogy that spreads across the DCU. Act 1 being Infinite Frontier, Act 2 being Justice League Incarnate, Act 3 will be sometime in 2022, and we'll see it all come together.
Yeah.
I got to give Joshua Williamson credit, man. Yeah. I feel like 90% of DC just dropped the ball on everything.
Yeah.
If you don't know what's going on, guys, AT&T spent a crap ton of money to buy Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers owned DC, and that at first was okay. Then COVID hit, and AT&T was now on the hook for like $1 billion or like $300 million. It was way too much money.
Unbelievable the amount of money they owed. Yeah.
So what they ended up doing, AT&T decided to mass fire people, mass lay off people, try and sell portions of each company. They were trying anything they could to make back their money. That's what they were going for.
Yep.
They were talking about selling WB Games. They were talking about selling DC. They were firing people left and right. DC had mass layoffs for like 2 years during COVID.
DC bloodbath. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, there's like no one left over there except Joshua Williamson.
I mean, there are
And-
people
and
who
Jim-
they're creators, but like anyone who's at the editorial level who remembers how comic books are made are gone.
But the worst part about that is, because I love the rumors that go around that DC is so bad, that's what happened. No, it's because AT&T bought way too much shit.
No, it's because like our media, the present state of our media conglomerates is nightmarish and dystopian, and AT&T spent way too much to try and compete with Disney, and they failed hard. And,
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, and they needed to, and unlike most huge institutions in America that spend billions or trillions of dollars, who then screw up, who get to just try again, get a mulligan, AT&T for some reason had to pay their freaking bills back, and they were like, I literally don't know how to do that, and everyone was like, and comic books are funny because they're so insulated. Everyone's just like, they're gonna sell DC to make their money back, and I'm like, do you know how much DC Comics is worth? Not $1 trillion, not $1 billion, not even $100 million. DC Comics is not worth that much money, and it certainly wouldn't have been enough for them to become solvent again. It just didn't pay to do that. It's like when you're trying to make, you're going to go to jail if you don't have a certain amount of money to pay off, like to pay your creditors. And it's like, oh, should we sell my coin collection? Your coin collection? We have to make hundreds of thousands of dollars here. You're talking about $20.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was not going to happen. But DC was always in a weird place. Josh Williamson is in an unenviable position of being at DC and knowing what he knows about like the universes and the characters and the comics and having all these like ideas, and also being one of the few elder statesmen left at DC, and having the and having to like to direct the line. Scott Snyder was up for that. He was like the unofficial kind of like spearheader of the line for a while.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, I'm done now. And
I'm going to go to Scotttoberfest.
Yeah, I'm running Scotttoberfest. I mean, like, and Josh, by the way, is no stranger to making independent books. It's not like he's only going to do DC books. And so he's in a weird place where he's like, he's a writer. He wants to tell his own stories. He loves these characters and wants to see them shepherded well, but he also has to like shake things up. And like, just from looking at the time when Marvel pulled itself out of the toilet, Marvel had to shake things up, and Joe Quesada's approach was like, make them mad, make your audience mad, and they'll buy the book. And like, you might be mad, but you bought the book, and he was right. And so, and that's been like the marching order at the big two forever, which is don't give them what they want, and don't even give them what they need. Just frustrate them, and dangle the carrot. And so like Williamson has to like do this thing where he like loves Wally West and Jason and Tim Drake, but also like can't do anything with them because he knows that like once you do get your satisfying conclusion for these characters, you'll stop reading the books.
Oh yeah.
So he's got to do all this juggling and because I don't know about you, but like I know Josh Williamson personally, and I'm very excited for him, and I'm very happy for him that he's doing this 3-act structure for DC, and I have no doubt that it'll be narratively satisfying. But like, there is zero hype for any of this.
Oh yeah, we had a whole discussion about that recently, but I do want to take a quick moment break away here for another super chat we got. We're getting a lot of these today.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Boba Fett taking Jabba's place. He always felt more like the paycheck than the power. I mean, I don't know that much about the plot for Boba Fett because I'm avoiding a lot of spoilers.
Yeah.
So I really don't have much to say about that.
Well,
I appreciate the super chat.
Yeah. The setup for that was just like, it was the post credits from the last season of Mandalorian.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So like, but that setup, I'm down for him being like, my retirement plan is being in charge. And I'm like, right on, Boba Fett. Good luck with you. Grab that bag.
But no, I agree with you. We just had a whole comics experiment talk about, is the hype dead?
Yeah.
And my point was things like Spider-Man Beyond, Justice League Incarnate. Like, no one cares. Fear State just happened and no one cared.
It's the first
Spider-Man Beyond just happened and no one cared.
That's the
in
first
all
Batman
honesty,
event I haven't read.
Yeah, but not only that, but here's the thing. DC versus vampires. Have you seen anyone really talking about that on all of social media? Like,
no one's getting hyped about DC
cares.
versus vampires. Not like Deceased, and that was not long ago.
No, that's what I mean. Marvel Dark Ages, I don't see anyone talking about it at all. There's these big tentpole events that people have been hyping up for years now because of COVID and everything. And they're just flying under the radar. They're just coming through and no one even knows they're happening. I don't know what happened to the hype in comic books. I know the crazy alt-right versus SJW argument is like, oh my God. Okay, This is going to be a topic. I did a ton of research, Sal. I did. I sat there and I was like, and this is going to be a comics experiment on the rest of the channel eventually for me and Dan. But I was like, okay, hold on. We've heard for years, DC's going woke, so they're going broke. The old saying that all the freaking comics gigs want to say.
Uh-huh.
And everyone freaked out about John being bi, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the week that John was bi came out, I sat there with Dan and we went through every comic that featured LGBTQ representation or people of color representation or minorities. Anything that could fall under their woke kind of argument.
Yes.
It was, and this was reaching. Like we had like Black Lightning on the list, and no one counts that as a woke book. It was 7 comics that fall under this whole, oh my God, they're going crazy, versus like 21 normal books that week.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 of those were Batman books, but
yeah, but even still, you know, like, no, on a monthly basis, there's like 100 books that come out. You're talking 7.
That's what I mean. Like, it was nothing. It was nothing at all. And so people love to argue comics are dying because they decided to make John bi.
Right.
No, that's not at all. There's a lot of other issues going on right now that don't involve John being bi. If anything, John being bi brought in a small minority of readers who have never read John.
That's right.
And they'll be here for an issue or two, and they'll leave, and that's whatever. But John being bi is not killing comics.
No.
There's so many other problems with the industry right now.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's true. And also, like, you want to talk about like how comics are dying because they're changing everything? Like, well, okay, let's take a look at like the top selling comic book characters of all time and look at what they're up to right now. Who replaced Spider-Man? Oh, a white guy. What's Batman up to? Nothing much. He's still Batman. Wonder Woman? Any changes?
No, hold on. You made it wrong. Spider-Man was replaced by Spider-Man.
That's what I'm
saying.
It was
literally
like,
just Peter Parker.
Just another Spider-Man. Like literally, Miles hasn't been Spider-Man. Like he's doing his own book that like half the readership is checking out, and it's like. And Miles was one of the people that like everyone gave a pass to anyway. Like people who have a problem with like changing races and introducing minority characters into comic books are like, oh, but Miles Morales okay. And I'm like, right on, but like still, what? But you know, Spider-Man hasn't been changed, Batman hasn't been changed, Wonder Woman's not changed, and Wonder Woman's books don't sell very well, so you can't really even use that as an example.
Yeah, I know.
You know, like the Justice League is exactly the same as it always was. No flashes have been changed. Like there's Hulk is
Flash got changed. It went from Barry to Wally.
Right. So you replaced him with a white guy. And even then, he's not even replaced because Barry's still around.
Yeah, Barry's doing the other thing.
So there's a gazillion different, and yes, Wonder Woman, like there's 17 different Wonder Women, one of whom is Wonder Woman, and the main Wonder Woman book stars Diana. So like, but her book doesn't sell well, so it's barely even an argument. Like, if anything, books that don't sell well should have some kind of shot in the arm to change things up so that their sales go up. You know, like, there's virtually no significant changes outside of like supporting cast members, you know?
Yeah, I'm just getting sick and tired of every time I'm like, hey, we have a problem with the industry. Why is manga selling better than comics? Why is this book tanking? Why is hype dead? And the response I get from like half the audience is because they went woke. Because they went woke. That's why they have a by John. You do realize that is in one comic, right?
Yeah.
And they still made 8 Batman books during that period, an Aquaman book. Which by the way, that was one of our like, it's a woke book because it starred what's the Black Aquaman?
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know who you're talking about.
He got famous because of Young Justice.
Yeah, he has his own book. It's not even the Aquaman book. It's his own book. Like, that's the thing. And like they made John bi. So what you're saying is, if I were to keep John around for 20 years, there's a realistic perspective where John could marry a woman and have children with them. So it's really like, well, I mean, they're not really, you know what I mean? Like it's not the same thing as like making like, I don't know. Like
we have a super chat here from David Winston. I don't like John being bi because I felt his character development was rushed. And that's a great personal opinion to have, and you're allowed to have a personal opinion. But it does not mean that John being bi is killing comics.
No.
Which is what the people that want to hate bait their videos and get everyone watching it because join me in this fight. Yeah. It's like your argument is such a minute point. It's just it makes headlines, and that's the issue.
Not only that, but like, man, you know, it doesn't matter. Like no one's it only sold more books. It didn't
Yeah.
kick people off, and Superman is still Superman. Like there's literally no change in those situations.
Aquaman.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, what's his real name though?
No, I know.
Jackson
Yeah.
Hyde. Jackson Hyde. That's it.
That's his name? Okay.
I know
But yeah.
you don't follow Young Justice, so
I
like he
don't,
didn't
I'm
mean anything
sorry.
to you.
Yeah, but there's like, and well, the other thing is, it's not everyone who watches these videos. It's all the same audience. It's the same audience. It's why all those channels have the exact same size. It's like they're all the same people who just all agree with each other. That's why we don't do that. Like that's the point here, ladies and gentlemen. Like it's like we
Well,
don't.
that's why Salad, I don't mind talking about it because I don't think most of our audience watches those guys.
Even if they do, it's a percentage of the larger group. Like it's a small percentage of that. Like it's just whatever. I mean, you know, at some point or another, that kind of like outrage, it's all gas. It's all gas and no like, you know, no engine. It's just eventually you run out. You know, you just eventually you get tired, you get sick, real life happens, or you just get old, and your level of outrage diminishes, and then you're like, why do I want to listen to this person yell at me all day? Like I just can't reach it. So yeah, it's silly. But what was that in regards to? What was the topic?
I don't know. We got on a tangent. We tangent all the time.
Oh,
We're
okay.
doing the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next topic here because I feel like we're just going to go down a rabbit hole that I don't think we want to fully tackle right now.
It's not.
Young Justice Phantoms has finished its production of 24 episodes, meaning that we're going to have 24 episodes with no releases and no pauses in the episodes.
I can't believe 24 episodes of this show.
I'm actually very shocked about that too.
Right? That's a lot for a show that like was deemed like commercially unviable.
So what blows my mind about Young Justice season 3 and then season 4, Greg Weisman, the guy, I think it's Greg Weisman, but the guy who makes the show,
yes,
he does a great job with 1 and 2. He did a great job with season 1 and 2.
Yeah,
his show got canceled because it couldn't sell toys.
Yes,
so he brings back the show for season 3 and 4.
Right,
and he's like, well, now I'm going to introduce new characters. What?
Yeah,
why?
Right. Well, because he's not going to get another shot.
Like I told you, I got so annoyed. They just did an arc where it was Artemis and a bunch of other people on the side, and they kept talking about, well, the Bat family's unavailable because they're in the middle of a civil war between Two-Face and Penguin right now, and all of the Bat family's involved in that. And I'm just, all he's doing is making me going, so when are you making that show? Because I would love to watch that.
Yeah, and they could. The fun part is like that's a whole different cast of characters, and it's got a bat thing on the title. Like, go for it. Like, make a supplemental show or movie that answers that question and build up your universe a little bit. Because ultimately, like, incidentally, accidentally, DC's like most successful multimedia venture was the DC animated universe, and it's like, and
it was accidentally, but it worked.
But it worked, and everyone liked it, and that's what brought most people into DC. Like DC Comics, by and large, by willful, interested comic book fans, is largely cosmically impenetrable. It's a lot of different like moving parts that all don't necessarily all line up with each other. But the DC animated universe, Justice League Unlimited and stuff, was like, here it is in a digestible way through gateway characters, and then it introduces you to other characters. Like he's not a niche character, but John Stewart is like a Green Lantern that doesn't get a lot of play in comics, and then suddenly here you go, and he's your favorite Lantern now. And you know, like Just Like Unlimited opened the whole door to like, hey, Black Canary's really interesting, Wildcat's cool. You know, like Booster Gold gets a whole episode. Question is a long running character throughout that whole series. Introducing these characters in the distilled format where you're like, I love these guys or gals, and I'm interested in this universe that they're a part of, and lean into that. I mean, just by virtue of how many people watch those videos about them. Like, there's a whole channel dedicated to just the Justice League animated universe. There's one of our colleagues does only Young Justice videos, and they're the most popular videos on his channel because like people love DC animation.
Oh, yeah, Young Justice isn't a bad show. I had a problem with the first 4 episodes, but the latest 4 have been great.
That's great.
Quick super chat here. I don't know how to respond to this one. Deadpool, Spider-Man, and Superboy versus Doomsday. I guess Superboy, Spider-Man, and Deadpool. I guess it was like a power scaling, but I appreciate the super chat, but I don't really have an answer for that one. We don't really talk about power scaling too much.
No.
Captain Coon says that the 24 episodes are done. 2 episodes have captions before they're considered 100%. I mean, at this point, though, it's pretty much guaranteed they're going to happen. So
they're done. Yeah. They paid the money. It's done.
Yeah. I know it's interesting because Young Justice does have its own audience, and Dan and I watch it. We watch it because we love it. It's not because we have to do it for the job. Right. Trust me, I stopped watching Supergirl. We aren't watching Stargirl, and we aren't watching Legends because we don't do it for the job. We do it for fun if we want to. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool that it's done. So now we got the next topic here. We got deleted scene, and Shang-Chi explains that the real Mandarin's role in Iron Man's origin story. While Wenwu wasn't specifically referenced. While Wenwu doesn't specifically reference Tony Stark in the deleted scene, he does talk to the leader of the 10 Rings operation in Afghanistan and says that he's happy with the progress that they have made in destabilizing the nation, which is in the form of capturing Tony Stark as well as acquiring Stark Tech.
Yeah.
That's
basically
cool.
the 10 Rings group in Iron Man 1 was a sect from the actual 10 Rings organization, now retconned to be run by Wenwu, which is like, I kind of didn't need a scene, but I kind of appreciate that they shot one at all. This feels like a thing that was made by a YouTuber, and yet it's actually like a thing they filmed. That's really cool.
I don't know why they're trying to fix the Wenwu thing. Is there more about the racial connotations of what they decided to do with him?
Well,
I'm missing?
No, just the fact that like the Mandarin was the Mandarin uses 10 rings of magic or whatever to fight Iron Man. He can't.
They
do
aren't
that
magic.
Right. No, but I'm saying we can't do that anymore because like he's a Fu Manchu ripoff and it's really racially insensitive to do that. In the Iron Man cartoon from the 90s, they made him green to combat the yellow skin that he had in the comic books, which is super racist. And so in the 90s, it was like only kind of racist. And then they were like, well, in the like early 2000s, we'll make the Iron Man movie and we'll make the Mandarin like Arabic because there are enemies right now. And that's also racially insensitive, but like, whatever, who cares? We're making movies. And then they did that. And then they went like, oh, we killed him because that's what we do with all these movies. So we can't really do anything with it anyway. And it's problematic to make the Mandarin. Then Iron Man 3, they make the Mandarin, Ben Kingsley, Osama bin Laden kind of character. Oh, it's actually a bait and switch. He's not really in charge. Actually, it's Guy Pearce. Oh, wait. Actually, no. Like they've used the Mandarin and the 10 Rings at least 4 times before Shang-Chi when they were like, oh, we're actually dealing with like actual Asian characters. Maybe we could finally do the Mandarin. And I'm like, why are you still doing the Mandarin?
Why don't you just make a new villain at this point? Let the Mandarin die off and that's the end of that.
Right. And so now it's like, okay, Wenwu was in charge of the 10 Rings. He created it. And everything that was called the Mandarin / the 10 Rings was run by him. And I'm like, fine. Like, whatever. Why don't you work on trying to make the 7 years later issue in Homecoming make sense? Or just go in and replace the year in that, because that's more problematic than however the 10 Rings organization worked. Even still, I admire the effort to make the continuity make sense by being like, okay, so here's how it happened in Iron Man. And I think I'm not sure if it was Dan or it was in the article, but somebody mentioned that this is funny because as a result, like Wenwu ends up creating Iron Man because he destabilizes like Gold Mera in Afghanistan. And as a result, like Iron Man is created and, thanks to Iron Man, like Shang-Chi, comes about. And it's like, oh, look at that. Like he ended up creating his own downfall and the formation of superheroes in the Marvel universe. I guess that's kind of neat.
All right.
Yeah.
I still think it was unneeded, but it's kind of fun that they're still trying to repair that.
Well, it works as a deleted scene. It doesn't need to be a thing. It could be a one shot. Like just release it as a thing.
Yeah. I do want to comment on a few people talking about, because I said we're not watching Stargirl Legends or Supergirl. It's not that we don't like them. Supergirl, that one went to crap. But
yeah, you don't like that one.
Legends. It's Legends is just Dan has not had time for it, and Stargirl I never got on board with, but I've heard both are amazing. So
yeah.
We also had a super chat from David Winston. Will we get a review of League of Legends Arcane? Because Man of Surprise magazine. Yeah, Dan and I are going to be doing it on the channel. Every week I was trying to watch the Arcane show. It's incredible. I was trying to watch that every week so we could do a review on it. Every time I caught up, new episodes. It was like, God, stop releasing 3 at a time, please. Let me catch up. You're releasing 45-minute episodes, 3 at a time. Do you know how busy I am? So yes, we will be doing that, and we'll probably be more on the ball with season 2 when that rolls out. But you'll see our Arcane review probably tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. I'm 1.5 away from finishing it finally.
Nice.
All right, so next up we got an Eternal spoiler. I'm gonna drop this one just because, in case somebody hasn't seen it, if anybody's looking for Disney Plus,
most people haven't. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to end this with
Eternals, but
Amy Pascal and Tom Holland have already suggested that there is another Spider-Man trilogy in the works, with Pascal stating that this is not the last movie we're going to make at Marvel. It's not the last Spider-Man movie we're going to make. The next Spider-Man movie, Tom and Marvel. I don't have much more to add to this, Ellen. I did a 20-minute discussion on the topic that'll go out on Absolutely Marvel and DC tomorrow. other than that, like it's kind of obvious. Like anyone who thought that Tom Holland was going to be done after 3 was insane. There's no way they're just going to let him go. I mean, they're keeping Chris Hemsworth now. Like the
For
3 movie thing seems to be just more of a, can we make more money on them? Oh, you mean he's breaking $1 billion? Tom, you want more money?
That's the thing, is just dump more money on at their feet, and they'll keep doing it. I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I like this deal. I like Marvel making the Spider-Man movies, and I like the idea that, the more money that they make, and the more this is proof in the pudding, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is the thing that I've been saying forever, which is just like, there's money on the table, and it's like, all in the spirit of collaboration, there's money to be made, and it's like, just keep making money. It's every time that people talk, like, I just finished watching Masters of the Universe Revelation season 2. I don't know if you saw the season 2 of Kevin Smith's.
No, after the
show.
backlash of apparently Kevin Smith debating everybody, I didn't watch season 1.
I didn't listen to Kevin, but I did watch the show, and I really enjoyed season 2. I really had a blast, and I was just like, man, She-Ra should be in this show. Like, they should just fix this. And everybody from their, from themselves to their uncle is like, you can't do that because She-Ra's owned by DreamWorks and He-Man is owned by blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but like, sure. But it's money on the table. Like, you could just, they made action figures of the Master of the Universe Revelation show. You could make Master of the Universe Revelation versions of She-Ra. And I'm getting back to Spider-Man, I promise. It's just, my point is, collaboration will yield, it's phantom money. Like, you're going to make Master of the Universe Revelation regardless of whether She-Ra's in it or not. But DreamWorks is not going to make any money off of any She-Ra because nobody wants to watch that.
Yeah, I heard the show was good, but no one watched it. So
nobody watched it, and I watched a few seconds, and I was like, nah, all right, it's not for me. It's, it's whatever. But like, She-Ra's not going to make any money off of them and their show. But if both of them make a deal, both parties get money from a thing that wouldn't have existed otherwise. And with like Sony and Marvel, it's like, Sony can make $1 billion every year or every 3 years by just letting Marvel make the movie. And I think they've learned their lesson after 3, where they're like, oh, if we just let them do that, we still all make a whole bunch of money. And if that's the case, we get more comic accurate Spider-Man in the future, because it means that they will not be like trepidatious about like what they can and cannot use. It means they can really get into more lore and explore more characters, and maybe take more time and really explore the breadth of it. Because honestly, I don't know where they can go with this from No Way Home. Like, after No Way Home and introducing a like multiversal Sinister Six, I'm kind of like, I think we're gonna get like a sleepy Spider-Man movie after this. Like, maybe like he goes to college and he has like a love triangle. Like,
it's gonna be Venom. It's gonna be a 3-movie arc of Venom and Carnage. Carnage is gonna find
nothing about that I want to see. Venom being in it, fine.
You are a bad Spider-Man fan, sir.
I am the best Spider-Man fan because I'm the only one who cares about this character. Like, I
don't want to see Venom. Know the answer to this one. We got another super chat. Does DC have their own version of the Heroes for Hire? I don't think so.
I guess Booster Gold and Blue Beetle kind of count.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, right now, especially that series.
And then Raj Patel said, caught the stream, had to fast forward to say the new Flash run is perfect amount of slice selected media for Wally. Like I said, it's not great, but it's not terrible. I actually am enjoying it.
Yeah.
But it's very hard for me to recommend to people. Hey, guys, you want to see Wally go for a job?
No. But you know what? Like, that's the kind of thing I do like about comics. So like, take your time, play with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, with this Spider-Man movie, like, I'm excited. And here's the thing. I've been trained by Sony and Amy Pascal to not trust anything she says, to be like, to dread whenever she opens her mouth. And yet everything she said has come true.
Yep.
Like, remember when she said she really wanted to see like a Spider-Verse, and then they made that movie? And remember when she said that Venom was in the MCU, and she was wrong until she wasn't?
Yep.
Like, so I guess
think
I'm on
she
board.
just talks. I told you, I've said it in the other video. I think she just says things and just makes it happen.
Yeah. Well, she says what she's really gonna do. Like, it's unlike every other person in Hollywood who just like goes like, yeah, we're gonna make that movie, we're gonna make that happen, yeah, and then they're just like, we're never gonna make that movie, where that's never gonna happen. Yeah. She's just like, this is what I want to do, and they're like, it's inconvenient for you to say that. She's like, yeah, but now it's out there. Now you have to do it, or you have to say you didn't want to do it. It's kind of like, all right, I guess that's, that's a business move.
Yep.
I don't necessarily agree with it. I think people should just be kind of like cool and open with each other, but like, I'm not an idiot, and I don't think that that's how it works. So I understand that people have to have different styles. So With this, I'm like, this is one of those things where she said something and I'm like, I agree with you. Make three more.
Which is a funny turn, because I'd say 5 years ago we were all like, Amy Pascal, shut the hell up.
You're the worst. yeah. And let her. They're greedy over there at Sony, and they just want to money and run off. And it's like, look, if they want to keep making Morbius movies and Kraven the Hunter movies, fine, go ahead. But like, let Marvel keep making Spider-Man movies.
Yep. But we're going to end on that note right there. If you go and check out the link I'm putting into our chats right now, you'll see the other channel, Absolutely Marvel and DC. You can get more information, or you can just search Absolute Comics for the rest of these podcasts. We do air these every Tuesday at about 5 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Comicstorian, or we are co-streaming them sometimes here at YouTube. Join us for the live show if you want to see it happening live. Otherwise, check it out later at Absolute Comics. Thank you guys so much for Thank you guys so much for joining us for today. Hope you enjoyed today's topics. Don't forget to check out whatever sponsors. I actually forgot to mention them at the beginning, but G Fuel sponsors this show. Use the code comics at checkout and get yourself 10% off of your order. We got Venom flavors up there right now, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything, so I'm not going to, but do some math. If we got Venom, what do you think's next? To play it safe, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Stick around if you want to have us answer a couple more of your questions. We'll be here for about 10 more minutes, but thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. We'll see you next week right here.
All right.
Cool. Answer some questions. Thank you guys for hanging out. Now
Yeah,
I will
guys.
answer some of your questions that I can legally answer. I'm not answering flavors for the G Fuel. Hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Yeah,
we're gonna try
this
to
is
do more of
fun.
them over here. Yeah. Notifications. Thanks. I'm only 80 minutes late. Sorry, Shane. Keep this YouTube video opened up in a tab because it will be unlisted afterwards. I always do that with this. So sorry.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
I don't know how this affects my algorithm. So
I don't know either. I did similar stuff because we have a side channel for just live streams, and like sometimes just to kind of remind people that exists, I'll go over there and dual stream. But yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are like some people like try to figure out the algorithm, but at the same time, I kind of like half retired from Comicstorian like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Well, like you
I really just continue Comicstorian for fun. Like that's
Yeah.
why you guys don't see me chasing the latest issues.
That's the thing is you retired from like obsessing over it. Like now it's just kind of like I do the show and you watch it, thankfully, because you've got a self-sustaining like you've got a cold fusion reactor going right now.
I mean, I honestly have all my focus in Absolutely Marvel and DC and Dungeons and Hell at this point.
Yeah.
I really want those to take off.
Yeah, exactly.
Any opinion on Shin Megami Tensei 5? I'm playing it. I like it. Sal doesn't play video games.
I have no idea what
why
that
do you
is.
why do you ask all the time, Tevya?
Yeah.
He hasn't magically taken up the hobby of gaming. It's not like a new thing he's doing. If it doesn't say Spider-Man or Batman, he doesn't touch it.
That's not true. I read all kinds of comic books, but I don't read.
No, I'm saying in the world of video games.
Well, that's that Guardians game is great.
But that's Guardians. That's superheroes. Like I don't expect
yeah.
you to give me an opinion on Halo Infinite.
No, but I also hear that game sucks.
Halo Infinite? It's not out.
No, but like the microtransactions in it are offensive.
Oh yeah, that's all shit. That's all.
So pass. But yeah.
Where do you have a Ghostbusters review?
No, I didn't make one. I know better than to talk about Ghostbusters or Star Wars on the internet.
Oh my god, dude! I did a story, 15 seconds, where I said, "Hey, thought the movie was pretty cool. Wasn't expecting the child cast. If you're looking for like the adult cast, not the great movie for you. Was okay. I enjoyed it." And I got lambasted for being like, "Well, how did you not know they had children in the cast? Did you not watch the trailers?"
Oh my god!
Like, oh my god, it's 15 seconds, guys. What the hell?
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, it was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but I wish it was. I hope it does well. I want to see the sequel more.
I've not had a chance to play Spider-Man and Avengers yet. I haven't even looked at the raid. We were going to stream it after this, but I think we're going to do it tomorrow after lunch because I'm like half asleep, and I'm not going to make it to do a full raid. First time raid on Avengers.
Right?
I got to do my Kate Bishop stuff. Ah!
Yeah. Well, then you got to play Spider-Man. I don't play that game either. I played a little bit of Avengers when it first came out. I played the beta, and I was like, this is fun. And then I don't care.
I logged in today to see what the requirements were for the raid, just in case we were going to stream it after this stream.
Totally.
And I wanted to, okay, so if we're going to stream it after this raid, I got to at least have a general idea what I'm doing here, right?
Yeah.
I'm confused because it opens up with almost like a trailer recap of all of the story beats that have happened up to this point,
Okay.
but out of order, disjointed, and it doesn't say what it is. It's
What?
literally just like a highlight reel of all the cool stuff that has happened story-wise.
Bizarre.
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Right. I bet they don't either.
Like, I thought it was going to set up and they'd be like, and now we have a raid. No, it was just a trailer of all the cool story beats.
Bizarre. Okay.
It was almost like Crystal Dynamics was like, look, I know we've had problems, but remember the fun stuff we did? Remember the fun stuff?
Please do, because we need you to keep paying us. It's like, just let it go. Let it go, because man, the world building and lore of that Guardians game, way better than Avengers.
Oh, 100%. It was a great time.
And it sets it all up. Like, they reference Annihilation and friggin' Civil War. Like, come on.
Just
Any
wanted
game I'm looking forward to Halo Infinite Story Mode. It's December 8th. I want to play that.
before we continue that, I want to thank Crazy Wild Chris, Esdalthani, Crafting Games, and Wolf Status for all renewing their subs over on Twitch during the show. We greatly appreciate that, guys.
Crack-a-coom! Thank you guys so much. And it's Crafting Games?
Carfting.
Nope, they changed. Actually, that's right. It used to be Crafting Games. Good old Crafting Games.
No, I know that the raid is the end of the War for Wakanda storyline. I just find that trailer interesting because the trailer is like, you didn't even say what this was for. Like, someone forgot to put in the title card and the end card. That was like, the road so far, now the raid. Like, all you had to do, and it would have been.
Yeah. Weird.
Thank you so much, Lord Rel.
Yeah. Folks are asking about my opinion about Spider-Man and Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. I played it for like half an hour and I was like, no. I play first-person shooters, but like, no to Fortnite. I can't.
My problem with Fortnite is my locker has too many skins now. so they put out like Spider-Man, and I'm like, well, I got 150 other skins I use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, thank you. I understand that it like makes a lot of money, and like I love it because it's getting people into comics again. Like, people are actually like buying comic books because of Fortnite, and I'm like, thank you, Fortnite.
You have a good one, King Shadow. Thanks for hanging out with us. Am I still playing DC Legends? No, I'm still on Marvel Strike Force, but I kind of half hate that game. Right now, I'm mostly playing. I just got Figure Fantasy today. Dan, if you like AFK Arena, it's AFK Arena, but all the characters are action figures of anime waifu girls.
Oh. There's about 6 of those, so I don't know which one exactly you were referring to.
Figure Fantasy. It just came out today.
Fantasy? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Maybe I'll check
it out. If you like idlers.
I mean, idle games are always fun. I tend to like play it, enjoy it, get about a week in, and then I'm like, all right, so I hit the very clear wall of progression where it takes forever to continue.
Will Cell join a Dungeons and Ale game? I've already got plans for that. He's flying out here eventually.
Yeah, one of these
days. I hope he gets during our Spider-Man campaign so he can be Spider-Man.
I promise a comic accurate Spider-Man.
Sal will be the comic accurate Spider-Man. Yeah. Everyone else is making up a Spider-Man for a Spider-Verse. Sal will be Peter Parker.
Right. This will be, then you're going to be like, you're Ben Reilly. And I'm like, ah!
No, you're Kane.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can be Kane. Because new Kane is like, you know, I remember Kane when he was like a murdering psychopath. Now he's like a superhero that people miss. So...
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened with Kane. Like, when did he go? He was like, oh my God, Kane's here. He's going to murder everyone. And then it just kind of went to, oh, no. Kane's a cool guy. He's just a superhero.
Yeah. You know, Kane's cool. He doesn't like burn your face with his hands.
I don't know when that happened.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they're like, Ben Reilly's a cool superhero. What if he wasn't?
I love, Ben Reilly. I'm like, wasn't Ben Reilly like that? Like the bad guy in Clone Conspiracy?
Yeah, he was the Jackal, and then there's a redemption arc that happens in Las Vegas. Where
right, but wasn't he a jackass the whole time?
Yeah. The last good Ben Reilly story was during Spider-Geddon, where he died off. He sacrificed himself again. Yeah, he sacrificed himself again. I think they hinted that he was coming back as the other. Never happened
because Kane was the other.
Yeah.
You can't. There's only one other.
For the record, I got to give Spider-Man writers credit for being like, okay, some people like that mystic stuff, like 3 people. The rest of us want normal Spider-Man. So we're gonna take.
That's where Aranya comes from. Like, I loved that when they invented Aranya. I was like, they're like, oh, the other, we still got to do it, and I'm like, really? All right, good for you. Go for it. Yeah, your little fun costume is really cool. Good for you. Stay over there.
That's what they did. It was Ben Reilly and Kane. Like, you guys do the mystical stuff,
Right?
With Spider-Man.
That concept when Kane became the other, like when they resurrected, and I'm like, what a good idea! Like, what a good idea! And then they just kept going, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a shame, dude. Stegman's art was freaking amazing during that Scarlet Spider book.
Yeah,
I mean, his art's always great, but like, that was the first
Spider of Houston. That was one of those stories that that Marvel just cut early for no reason.
I don't get it with them. They want to have like a 1,000 Spider-Man characters, but then like when they get their own book and people are actually enjoying it, they cancel them halfway through.
How about Superior Spider-Man? When he got his own book, he was actually Superior Spider-Man. It went 12 issues, and they're like, all right, it's done.
All right, that's enough. And it's like, dude, what a missed opportunity. Like, I'm not an idiot, right? Like, I like comics, but I also know how the business works. And yet these people who like run this business, who make terrible boneheaded decisions and they blame business for it, are in charge of these things. And like, so after Superior Spider-Man ends, the first one, where Peter Parker's body was puppeted by Octavius, and then at the end they relaunch Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, but like, you have to have looked at the sales for Superior, right? Like, they were as good as Amazing. You just keep Superior going, and also just drop a new volume of Amazing. But you don't cancel Superior, have the audience drop off, and then try to rekindle them 2 years after the fact. No.
It was so long, too. It was so far out.
It was so stupid. Like, no, you have this momentum. Keep that book going, starring Ock, because now you have two different characters because now it's not like the Superior Spider-Man fans, people who legitimately like, I like Ock as Spider-Man. They're not going to like Peter Parker as Spider-Man. They're not going to read that. They're just going to quit, because it's cheaper to quit than it is to like hunt for a new book that acts like the character they enjoyed. So it's just so like short-sighted and boneheaded. And I'm like, dude, it's money on the table. So stupid.
It never makes sense to me when they end these books. Like, when they I want to know, why isn't there a Deadpool book right now?
It's outrageous. Outrageous. I wonder what the sales were
there's
like.
Black, White, and Blood, but we know that's out of continuity. Why is there not a ongoing Deadpool? Why was Monster Island canceled for Hickman's run, and then no one relaunched Deadpool?
No, it's insane. Kelly Thompson's book was beloved. Now maybe the sales weren't great, but like, okay, replace the writer.
Yeah, It's Deadpool.
Yeah,
he will sell.
All right, let me see. When do you know when it was canceled? I'm trying to find Deadpool's like numbers here. I'm just like how low were they? Really?
It was the month before Hickman took over.
Oh, so like, okay, I'm gonna check 2020. Oh, nothing in 2020.
Because it got wrapped up. Wait, Deadpool's
I'm trying to find it for you real quick.
Deadpool's manga is Marvel's highest selling comic book back in March. Deadpool has a manga?
Oh.
Yeah, that's it's been a topic on Absolute Comics before.
No, if it is, I skipped it.
Yeah.
It's a free manga too.
That rings a bell.
How do I read Deadpool Samurai?
And it looks like the last of the Kelly Thompson Deadpool run was January 27th of 2021. So started this year.
All right, let me take a look.
And that was one that actually ended early too, because I believe it was supposed to have like 12 issues total, but they cut it at 10.
Yeah. There it is. I don't see the numbers on this, but let's see if we can pull it. That's just takes me to Previews World. That's not anything. How do I read the numbers now? Did they change the website?
Don't they always?
Yeah. I was 21st that month. That ain't bad.
21st out of 100?
Out of 25.
What the fuck?
At the top 25? Yeah, why would you cancel that?
I don't know. I don't see the numbers on this, but like, maybe here. Here we go. According to this, nope. That's just an affiliate link. That's not anything. What do they do to this website?
Recent stuff with Peter has radiation. Reminds me of what happened with Peter back as Morlun appeared. What happened right before the other.
Yeah, remember when Peter like
that's
injected
fair.
himself with radiation and he was fine, but then apparently he was exposed to some different radiation and he has a coma. It sounds like they just wanted to get rid of him for a little while and do this weird Ben Reilly story for no good reason.
I will say
I'm enjoying it, man. Get off Finn Riley's dick.
Deadpool number 10 outsold Amazing Spider-Man that month.
But here's the kicker: they didn't cancel it and then put it on and then relaunch it as a Hickman book like Wolverine.
No,
They just haven't brought him back.
As I understand it, Hickman hated Deadpool and didn't want to have anything to do with him. So they were like, he's like, Deadpool's not part of the Dawn of X, Hawks and Pox thing.
So then why did cancel? Just let him keep doing his thing.
Yeah, he was basically a Marvel character and not an X-Men character anymore. Like, what are you doing? Weird. Anyway.
Yeah,
I will say with the Spider-Man radiation thing,
yeah,
I am glad that in this comic, instead of it just being like, oh, it's the radiation causing him to go into a coma, they're doing it as the spider sense is fighting it too much in himself, and they have to put him into a coma to prevent it from going overboard. Because I think, if anything, at least it's original.
It is original. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right about that.
Derpy as a derp says, I feel like they're letting Deadpool breathe for a while to have a fresh comeback for Deadpool 3 like they always do. Yes and no. I mean, they did that
He doesn't need to breathe.
The movie hasn't even shot. It's going to take 3 years.
It's like when they canceled Wolverine. They're like, we're going to kill Wolverine. And it's like, why? Like, I get it. There's a lot of Wolverine right now. Okay, Wolverine was in everything. They killed him. He's barely in anything. They killed all Wolverine momentum.
Yeah, it's really weird because that book was also great. Like, The Death of Wolverine was a really good book, but you know what's funny? They had some hype around Death of Wolverine. Then when they brought him back, of course, but they brought him back through by the time Infinity Wars came out, and the mandate from upstairs was like, screw any Fox property. So I can imagine there was some weird deliberate sabotage going on from their own company.
There had to be something, because ever since he's come back, I never hear about Wolverine's solo book. I'm reading it and I never one talks
about it. It was good. It was with
I don't like it.
When Kubert was drawing it, it was super neat. And but yeah, Wolverine is synergistically directly connected to the Rick Hickman run. So it's you can't go.
I don't know why Wolverine's not back on the Avengers. He doesn't have a crossover book right now. Why isn't there a Wolverine Deadpool Spider-Man book? Why isn't he everywhere? They're keeping him so just in his own little world right now.
Yeah. I'm actually very curious what's going to happen to both Wolverine and Deadpool once Hickman is gone from the X-Men.
Right. He's gone.
Because it seems very clear,
gone.
If Hickman was opposed to Deadpool, I wouldn't be surprised if that might have been one of his terms of, hey, I'm doing all this stuff with X-Men. Deadpool's in a weird spot with the X-Men. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
You have to pause that until I'm done with this massive thing you've paid me a ton of money to do.
Yeah. But Wolverine is going to get an event, though. It's the 10 Deaths of Wolverine or something like that.
But it's still self-contained.
Yeah, but at least it's an event.
10 lives.
10 lives, yeah. 10 deaths, 10 lives.
And you notice that's popping up after Hickman's out?
Yeah.
I think it's going to reintroduce Deadpool back into the X-Men mythos and stuff.
No way. I don't think Deadpool is in this. I think that's very Krakoa centric. It's not going to have much to do with it. But who knows? I mean, but yeah, they need to do something. They need something really shake up with Deadpool. Can you imagine a Donny Cates Deadpool book?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
It's with Otley on it actually would be a really good idea, but but somebody exciting, a big splash, whoa, we're getting so and so on Deadpool.
We haven't had a solid Deadpool long series since Jerry Dugan's run. Kelly Thompson is great, and I feel like it would have been good if it kept going, but it ended so abruptly. He was starting to date Elsa.
She got the rug pulled out from under her.
Yeah, she got me to care about Elsa Bloodstone. Elsa freaking Bloodstone.
She's cool.
I'm this is one of my new favorite characters.
Yeah, no, Elsa's dope. Yeah, Elsa Bloodstone is cool. I hope she shows up in those friggin' because she's British. She should show up in
Black Knight.
In Black Knight. Oh, dude, let me tell you something.
That would be pretty good.
Because I think Blade's going to be there. So it's because Blade's British. They should freaking do that. They should just do a movie called Captain Britain and the MI-13. And it's just that team. It's just Captain Britain. It's Elsa Bloodstone. It's Blade. It's Black Knight. And just make an Excalibur, but without the Excalibur. Pete Wisdom can be on there. That'd be cool. It's like, go for it.
You want to talk about continuity problems? They just reminded me. Everyone was talking about how all new Wolverine with Laura taking over the role was amazing, and I agree, it was amazing.
Yeah.
You know what the problem with continuity is right now? Half the comics remember that. The other half call her X-23.
Yeah.
Luckily, since she's been on the new X-Men team, they have kept it consistent
Yes.
with Wolverine. I will give them that.
It was like every other
But-
issue. Now she's in the Wolverine outfit.
Yeah.
Now she's in her black leotard. Now she's
Yeah.
in the Wolverine outfit. Now she's in the black
And we
leotard.
had a full series called X-23 after All New Wolverine, and they never once mentioned why
Nope.
she went back to X-23.
Yeah.
No. Well, it's because they forgot. Like, it really, like, I'm telling you, man, Marvel has 2 editors. Like, just, they don't.
Yeah, how about this one?
And they don't talk to each other.
And they don't
either.
communicate. Well,
I'm going to give Tevye this one. We'll do our last thing. We'll close out the show.
yeah.
Do anyone remember Heat Claws?
Yeah.
How could I forget Hot Claws? Man,
So,
they haven't done anything with Hot
So
Claws.
great.
I don't even remember how they went away. Like, I remember
They
Charles
never
Soule-
did. He had them at the end.
Oh my god! I remember
Yeah.
Charles Soule talking about Hot Claws and how he was like, "Dude, when you find out like why there's Hot Claws, it'll make sense and it's gonna be awesome." And I was like, "Nah."
wasn't
It's
it
his
just
rage.
like,
It's
yeah,
his
wasn't it
rage.
like the Berserker Wolverine in his mind kind
Oh,
of
yeah,
like
yeah,
going
yeah,
to the
like
front?
Hulk.
And, yeah.
Yeah, they tried to Hulk him up. Like every Wolverine's in his mind. Like you
Yeah.
guys are already doing that with Hulk. How many
Yeah.
guys in the Marvel universe have a fractured mind state? And we're going to use
Right?
that as the excuse.
Like Moon Knight and yeah.
You know what? Just do Marvel Fractured and just use all of them as well as a villain that
Yes.
unlocks people's mindscapes,
Purple
and the
Man.
entire Marvel
No.
universe has to fight the different versions of all these
Nightmare's the villain.
people. Oh,
Okay.
Night. Perfect. There you go.
There you go.
That
But
would
all right,
actually be
guys,
pretty
we
great.
are going to go. If you enjoyed this, let me know. We'll be back next week with another episode of this. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this and want to go back through, I'm giving you a moment to go ahead and grab this tab, rewind it. I'm going to be unlisting it, but it will be available if you have the tab in the video. So
Just real quick, Sal is
you can
Oh
also
no,
go to
today's
your
not
history.
streaming. She's not
She's
today,
not.
but tomorrow she will be. So.
okay, cool.
You can also go to your history to watch this again. I will, like I said, it'll be up that, but we will not leave it. I don't know how to, there it is. I'm like, I don't know how to unlist it. So never mind. It's here forever. Thank you guys so much for your support. We do appreciate it. Go back to your history to watch the full episode if you want to, or check next week on the YouTube channel, Absolute Comics, for more discussions by the three of us. Check out Absolutely Marvel and DC for gaming, Let's Plays. Please, 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 I need your support. Go to facebook.com/Comicstorian Gaming. And on top of all that, thank you, Twitch viewers, twitch.tv/Comicstorian. You guys have been here forever. We appreciate your support. You have always helped us with these live streams, and you guys are awesome. Thank you. We'll see you guys next. We'll see you Thursday. We're gonna be Dan and I are gonna be a Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.